G'day guys, good morning. How you doing today? Hey Jerome. Just give us a thumbs up. Let us know you can hear me okay. The music's not too loud. Just wait for a few more to join and then we'll get going. How's everybody doing today? Let's give it another 1 or 2 minutes and we'll get stuck into the charts. Hope everyone's had a good week so far. Have you made any profit on the week? Give us a 1 in the chat if you've made some profit on the week so far. All right, let's roll into it. Let's start with the calendar and see what we've got going on today. So over on Forex Factory, we have 0 news, no high impact news here on Wednesday. So a quiet news day for indices and Forex, but no doubt we'll have something for oil. Let's check out oil. So we do have inventories today. So we're looking to wait till 10:30 or after 10:30 news if you're going to trade oil today to look to take a position. And for indices, I'll just be waiting till after New York Open. Let's roll on to the charts. So taking a look at NQ to start with. Feel free to drop any comments. So having a look here on NQ on the daily. We can see we swept Thursday's high. We swept Thursday's high yesterday. And with this close above, we did form this bullish order block here. And we can see price has actually come down and tested that order block today. Now just flicking to ES quickly. I do believe we do have a SMT. but that's more of just something I'm keeping an eye on. With this reaction to the order block here, I'd anticipate that we may actually reach this high here today. We did have a decisive close yesterday. We didn't get a close above this high, but the PA over the last couple of days hasn't really been the best. With no news today, just be a little bit more cautious as well. Obviously the news from the last 2 days didn't provide a hell of a lot of volatility. And with no news today, that's not going to help with the volatility. So we're really only going to get that New York Open injection. Tomic, how are you? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. So with the bounce off this order block and the close above previous day high, I'm actually going to look for longs today. See if price can take out this high, and then if we take this high, then I'll reevaluate my position. You know, if that happens right at open, or whether it happens at open or maybe it happens slightly beforehand if we get a run. But I'll just have a look down at the hourly structure and see what that's telling me. It won't automatically flip bearish is what I'm getting to, is if we take this high, it won't automatically flip bearish. We'll just see what structure's telling us. Fayaz, good morning. Well, it's probably lunchtime where you are, buddy. So on the hourly here on NQ, so this is the sweep of the highs here. And I use the line chart to help identify the change in the state of delivery. It just clears the picture up. If I don't necessarily see it straight away, I'll always flip to the line chart, but you can see here we do get a bearish change in the state of delivery. We have this displacement through this leg here. I'm glad you're here, Fayaz. Thanks for joining, buddy. Mr. Beck, hello. So keeping an eye on this level here as we come into New York Open, whether this change in the state of delivery is respected and we get a reaction here for a move lower, or if it becomes invalid and price is moving higher. We can use this Asia manipulation here as a projection to look for a potential target region if we do in fact move higher. We see the -1 aligns with these equal highs here. So that's my first draw on liquidity. Again, if we do invalidate this change in the state of delivery here with these equal highs, and then looking for price to reach to this target region here. So just cautious keeping this in our sights. I do like to draw out these, we have these large wicks to see, you know, if we do get a reaction of the 50% level. Price didn't reach that low, but we have reacted to the bodies of these candles here. You can see we've got to move higher from there. And you'll also note that we haven't been able to get a close below these wicks. All of these wicks, we haven't been able to get a close below through this whole region here. So that sort of leans towards bullish price action for me. This is the only thing at the moment that I'm just going to keep an eye on, this negative change in the state of delivery as we head into open. Let's jump over to ES. So we have that small SMT there, just something that we're watching, which may be invalidated, but nevertheless, it's just something to point out. We can use this confluence to our ideas. Here we have the new all-time highs. I said that a little bit better than in my recording or my video yesterday. I seemed to twist my tongue around that yesterday. Similar here on the daily though, we do have price reacting off this bullish order block. We did get quite a nice close above yesterday, so also looking for price to reach higher today, and we may see new all-time highs again. Having a look here on the hourly. Equal highs here. You can also see that we didn't really get this change in the state of delivery like we did on NQ. And if we did, it would likely be this level here, but price, we had the displacement and we moved lower, but price has actually invalidated that level now on ES. And ES has continued to be the stronger pair. And like NQ, we haven't been able to get a close below any of these wicks either. Even this wick here, we still didn't get a close below. So we're still trending up, in my opinion. So I'll be looking for longs today on ES and NQ. There was a couple of nice AM longs yesterday on NQ and ES, but they didn't give an entry on the 5 minute. Let's have a look at oil now. So I probably was a little bit too objective yesterday with oil rather than being subjective when I did my analysis yesterday, been looking at this bearish FEG for some time, and this bullish candle, yesterday's daily candle, was sort of sitting either equal to or just above the top of this bearish FEG at the time. And because of that, I was looking at this bearish FEG as being invalidated rather than waiting for the close of the candle. But you can see what happened is we actually didn't get a close through. So if you were looking for a bearish bias yesterday, you would have actually got a position in the AM. But because I didn't revisit the daily chart during the session, I just had the bearish bias, the bullish bias. I didn't flip my bias, and therefore I didn't end up taking a position. So we just got to remember that we always should be subjective rather than objective. Keep our emotions away from our analysis and just really read what price is telling us. So with that said, we're still inside this bearish FEG. We haven't been able to close through. Therefore, we're still respecting the bearish FEG. And with our IRL to ERL relationship, then I would be looking for price to move lower today towards this external. Let's move down to the hourly. So there's no clean change in the state of delivery. Obviously, this would be the leg that moved to an important level, which would have been taking the previous day high. But as we move lower, we don't see any displacement. In fact, it's quite choppy, really. We get this aggressive move and then quickly followed by selling that off. And that does respect this bearish order block. So we get that close through, we come up, test that level, and then sell straight off again. So we're looking and watching this order block here as price moves lower. Let's see whether we get a reaction off of that, and we can see we're already reacting off the top of that order block. Now, can we get a close through that for price to continue lower? Other than that, price really isn't at any point of interest on the hourly structure. There's no FEGs here. There's a swing low here. So we'll be seeing if we can get this price moving lower. We do have high resistance liquidity here. And if we run that projection through, you can see that the -2 aligns with this low here. We could look at this as our low resistance liquidity through here. So we do have a good draw. So looking for price to move lower on oil today. Moving over to Euro futures. And we finally got a sweep of the high here, which we'd been hunting for because we were using our internal to external idea. Price had pushed out of this bullish FVG and we were looking for price to reach this external level. You'll see as well that this being a bullish order block, price reacted right at the 50% level, which was aligned with that bullish FVG. So it was a really good sort of confluence here to see that price was going to move higher. Price did balk somewhat, it pulled back lower here. But was able to find its legs and move higher. So now we are at a swing high. So this is one of our points of interest for a bearish idea. So I'll be looking for a price to move lower today. Now that we've completed our bias, our bullish bias, so now we're moving to a bearish bias. And we can target this bullish FEG that price moved out of because we never got a close through. So this is still open, it's still valid. So we'll be looking for price to move lower today on Euro futures. Looking down at the hourly now. We don't have a change in the state of delivery just yet. We have this leg that took liquidity here, so we can look at this as high resistance liquidity. We have equal highs here. And we can project from the high to the low. And this whole move through here is low resistance liquidity. All these failure swings all the way through. So plenty of areas to target there. Looking to target this region. And I don't necessarily need that negative change in the state of delivery to look for a position. If a unicorn sets up after sweeping a high time frame point of interest, then I'll look for a short position. Let's move over to gold. Here we are on the daily. This is a case of the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. There's really not much more you can say about that. At the end of the day, we have no points of interest to the left. This is all-time highs. So while price continues to close above the previous day, we just keep looking at that as a bullish move. We're moving out of this bullish FEG. So we'll remain bullish on gold for the time being on the daily. Let's see what the hourly is telling us. So we've put in some high resistance liquidity here. We don't have a change in the state of delivery yet though. Price is consolidating here. We haven't been able to get a close below these wicks. So that's just a little range here that gold has been in for the last few hours. We do have these equal highs, which look really nice for drawing liquidity if price is willing to move higher, and we can see that price has respected this hourly bullish FEG. Even this bullish FEG is virtually being respected. These bodies, most of these bodies are closed aligned with that, the bottom of that FEG. So overall bullish on gold still at this time. Hey Leo, how you going? Good question. Let's have a look just before we move on to Dixie. So if we look at CL for an SMT, that's Leo's question. What do we use for SMT divergence? So we can use UK oil is what we use. So this one down here, we'll just bring up UK oil on this chart. And you'll be able to see that they do have a similar structure. So here's a good example straight away. On CL, we've got a higher high. On UK oil, we have a lower high at the same points in time. So that helps give you that confidence for a bearish move, which we are getting at the moment. So I hope that helps. Use UK oil for SMT with CL. Let's have a look at Dixie now. Okay, so we're moving from internal and we've been seeking external. And price is very close to that level at the moment. We did have external here as well, but what you'll see here is that we had a decisive close below that external level. There's virtually no wick to the downside here. So that's quite decisive in its move lower. Therefore, I'd still like to see if price has a willingness to get to this low before looking for a reversal. So I'll remain bearish today on Dixie. Let's have a look at the hourly. For this gap fill. we do have a change in the state of delivery. So see here, you can see that this is the first moment in time that we get a change in trend. So we've got a high, low, and then we displace through. You can see there's a small FVG aligned here, and then we have another one above price here, or above the change in the state of delivery. So we do have a bullish change in the state of delivery on Dixie. We do have all these failure swings as a potential target if price does continue to move higher. So keeping an eye on this. Obviously this doesn't align with my daily bias. Leo says cool, and the futures ticker is BRN1. I think you can just type in UK oil. That's all I use, just the UK oil. Which is the FX. You could use, let's have a look, what have you got there? BRN1. So yeah, you can use that one. Yep, that's perfectly fine. It looks like it's got the same profile as UK oil as well. We still have that SMT there. Okay, let's have a quick look at GBP. So we had a legacy high here. That's what this line is here. This is what I marked out here. So I had been looking for price to move lower once we swept this high. The price has continued to expand. I have this level marked out. If we were to get a retracement, do we test this level before continuing higher? And this is another legacy high from way back. From back on the 1st of March, that I was looking for price to target or for price to reach towards. With a decisive move higher here above this old high, I'm still looking for price to move higher now that we've had this clear bullish close yesterday as well. We didn't get a reaction lower here. You can also see the move off the order block here. Let's have a look at the hourly. So we do have a shift in structure here, but there's no displacement, which is what we usually want to see when we have that change in structure or change in the state of delivery. So there is no, I mean, maybe there's a tiny FEG just here. What's the high? 34065. I think there might be a very tiny one in here. Yeah, there is. So technically there is some displacement there. We can see we've already reached the -2 to -2.5 standard deviation. So we can anticipate consolidation or retracement here. If we do get a close below the -2.5, then we can look for price to reach our max extension, which does align with the low down here. So starting to look bearish here on GBP. On the hourly structure, we have this low resistance liquidity running through here, and we have high resistance liquidity on our side of price, low resistance on the other side of price. All right, guys, I think we'll wrap it up there today. Have you got any questions at all? Just throw them in the chat before we wrap it up. Happy to answer them. Happy to have a look at a couple of things. Trade safe today, guys. Remember, there is no high impact news other than affecting oil. So just be patient, wait for those opportune setups, those A+ setups after 9:30 open. Have a really good day, and we'll catch you next week for another live. I'm going to tentatively say that may not happen because I've got a fair bit of work happening at home next week, but I'll do my absolute best to be on live next week. But we'll keep the daily videos going. As always, thank you guys. Until next time, bye for now.